Gold volume.
Okay, so yesterday we had a pretty interesting day. We swept through value really quickly, so that first trade that I had mentioned worked right away.
Silver volume.
Then we couldn't break the high of the previous session, and then we started trading back inside the overnight high. So this didn't hold. So at that point I took a short. I think I covered around but I can't remember exactly what I covered, but I scalped within my short position a bunch. We finally got back to the 68.80 because we failed to break this high. We failed to hold above the overnight low, and then we had this big spike down. Took this two lows. When we took these two lows, that was the one of the trades that I mentioned. Also, the loop below and fell. I took that trade too. Took a few points. I was expecting it. I was waiting for it to see if we could go to the IB low, which was here at 72, which it didn't. I mean, it did during the overnight session, but it didn't do it during the session yesterday. So I took it. I think at 56 was my first target, so I took about 10 points on that trade. And then we spent the rest of the afternoon balancing in this area. We put a lot of volume here in the 68.50, so we are starting to accept lower, meaning that this 68.80 point of control could shift here to 68.50 if we keep trading around this area. So we have spike rules for today. That's, we have a big spike down, and obviously the most bullish scenarios that we trade above this spike, which is obviously not happening. Second most bullish is inside the spike. More neutral is inside this distribution, and bearish would be to trade below this low from yesterday. So right now we're trading in the middle. So if we start trading inside the spike, there's a high chance that we attempt to test the high side of the spike. But when you have a range like this and you have an expected move of 50 points for the day, that's very unlikely. So I'm looking for maybe filling the top of the single print here, or at the most testing this area right here, this low volume node at 08. And then from there look for some shorts back into this 68.80 area. That's if we break above the overnight low, the overnight highs with bullish internals. That's where I would look for a move up there and then see if we can short it. So those are two trade ideas for today. One is the breakout of these highs to target the 6900 area. One is the short around here, the 6908. Then third trade will be if we head towards the shorts from the overnight lows. I would look for short back into value area low and the lows from yesterday. At 68.30 we still have support on that low volume node, but if we are coming down below this low, I would expect this to be tested and probably break if we have supporting internals, bearish internals. And then we have the quarterly pivot here, which is some strong support. It was tested 3 times already, but if it keeps being tested, eventually it's going to break. And we have these 2 lows here back to back that are vulnerable, which it was a few nice buy and tells here, but if we get below them, then that's more bearish. yesterday, because we had this point of control down here, we had a bearish imbalance, and the target is 67.70. And if you remember from a few, or last week or 2 weeks ago, we had another one as 67.73. So this market is telling us that it wants to test this December's lows, and I'm not saying it's gonna happen today, but it could happen tonight when Trump is doing his State of the Union address, or when we have Nvidia earnings. I'm getting an error here. I don't think maybe I wasn't streaming. Okay. So anyway, the other trade idea will be a loop below and fail at yesterday's low, because we have this low volume node in this area where we found buyers yesterday. See if we can loop below and then go back to the 68.50 area, or if we have a strong push with bearish internals, volatility moving higher, then I would look for a short back into this quarterly pivot at 68.10, and then monitor for continuation into these lower levels. The other option, which could be too, is that we just chop around here and we just balance. If we have a balancing normal distribution day, then I look for failed breakouts and then fade back to the middle, or just don't trade. That's also an option. If you don't know how to trade this, the chop, that's an option too. Don't trade it. I think that's about it for ES. We have NQ today is a little stronger with AMD news. Look how NQ is at the top third of the range, while ES is at the bottom third of the range. So that's something to note when you have the indices diverging like that. It becomes a little hard for the moves to continue one direction or the other, right? So because you have one pulling, one pushing. So if most indices are moving up, you wanna just, if you're trading more, if let's say if you have a choice to trade NQ or ES, if you wanna go long, I would go with the stronger instead of going with the weaker and waiting for it to catch up, and vice versa, right? If we have a down day and ES is weaker, short the ES, don't short NQ, because NQ is stronger. Okay, gold had a big last 3 days, and now it's pulling back into this area where we broke from, right? So I think here is an area that you want to be watching for a re-entry if you want to be long. And if we break below this single prints, below 5100s, then we could retrace this whole area and retest this. I don't want to say 5,000, but 5,000 looks like a very likely area to retest. But the 20-day point of control is at 50.80, so this is the area that I'm watching. Silver also pulling back a little bit, but it had two back-to-back overlapping ranges, so it's not below any of these lows, but also it has single print here, so 83 is the area to watch. And what else do we have? Oh, crude still holding there. I think it's getting ready for the next leg up. No, nothing has changed. Okay, so remember today we have now a bunch of Fed speaking at 9:15, 9:30. We have consumer confidence at 10 a.m. We have Trump speaking. We have 2-year note auction, and then tonight the State of the Union, and tomorrow Nvidia earnings. So lots of triggers to move this market in the next few days. All right, good luck.